the best gauge of wire for wire wrapping. I often get asked, what is the best gauge of wire for wire wrapping, or the ideal gauge? And that depends on a number of factors. I'm going to pause for a moment and explain gauge, and it is counterintuitive. This is 26 gauge, which is 0.4 millimeters, 24 gauge, which is 0.5 millimeters, and 22 gauge, which is 0.65 millimeters. The bigger the gauge, or the higher the number of the gauge, the thinner it is. Most wire wrapping for small beads, like this, we use thin wires like this, and maybe up to 20 gauge if it was very heavy. But again, you are limited to a number of factors. And the cost differential is very big because 26 gauge, while it's only 2 gauge difference, or this is 0.4 and this is 0.5 millimeters, this is significantly more expensive than 26 gauge. So there's a budgetary limitation and selection. I'm going to later on leave a note at the bottom in the captions at the bottom of the video, so that with a link to a size chart, and you can also figure out the cost of things. One of the biggest factors, and a crucial one, is the size of the hole. I'm going to show you. Sometimes the hole is not proportional to the size of the bead. For example, this is a slightly bigger stone. This Herkimer diamond is bigger than this shell inlay. And if you'll see, this is 22 gauge wire. It might go in, but doesn't go through. Oftentimes, hand drill stones the hole is larger on the outside and the drill goes to a point. You might wonder, why couldn't they just drill it all the way through? Many stone drillers are paid by the number of beads they drill without breaking the stone bead. As long as a fine thread passes through it, it counts. So they stop drilling when they can pass through the thinnest threads. It's frustrating, but it happens often. It usually costs far more for beads with larger holes because of the high breakage rate when drilling. So this is 22 gauge wire, doesn't go through. Let's try 24. Still doesn't go through. And then so this is 26 gauge wire. So now this stone is limited to 26 gauge or less. Whereas this tiny 5 shell inlay, it goes through 22 gauge. Here is an even more extreme example. This is a chubby green amethyst. It's a briolette, so that means it's top drilled across this way. Even though this is very big, the top has a small hole because there's very little surface area to drill through, and the defect rate is high. So in fact, 24 gauge will not go through this. Requires 26 gauge to go through. The other thing is, even though if something does go through, if it's barely and it's tight, when you wire wrap, there isn't a whole lot of give. And when you're doing it very tightly, it could crack the stone or snap it off the tops altogether. And some might think, rightly so, if it is the case that thinner is a lot cheaper and you're for sure going to be able to get through most of the beads, why not just stock up on very fine wires? That way it will work for everything. Well, there's two reasons, mainly. One is the weight of the stone, and it might be too weak if you use thin wires. And I'm going to explain that. And then you have heavy stones that, even though, for example, 24 gauge will go through, the problem is it is so heavy that, and if you're doing a long necklace, when it is thin, it is actually slightly weaker than a thick wire. So when you're doing heavier things, you want as thick as possible within reason, and that aesthetically looks good, but you need it to be strong and solid. I actually have a video where I tested the strength of different wires and how many loops you want to wire wrap so that it doesn't unravel given the number of pounds of pull. I'm going to include that or a link below. Here's another reason why you want to have the appropriate thickness, and it isn't just to do with the weight of the bead. In this case, this is light and small. The hole is large, and you want to find the appropriate size, because otherwise you're going to have a very large loop because the coils are going to be too thin. You're going to have to make a big loop so that it doesn't pull back through. And if it is the case that it is heavy, or in the case of a bracelet, there's going to be a lot of pulling, you don't want it to unravel or the loop to elongate and be able to pull through, or have a situation where this becomes a little loose. So that's important. And I'm going to wire wrap this example to show you. Here is a very simple rule of thumb in determining the thickness of the wire based on the hole of the bead. If it is the case that you simply want to make coil like this, and as opposed to making a big hat out of it, you want the thickness so that when you're doing this, effectively, it is three wire thickness, because it is the one that goes through, and then when it's coiled, it's two widths of the wire. So in essence, 3. If your wire that you were thinking of using, 3 of them can go through the hole, then you've got a bit of a problem. You need something thicker. So in this case, using this, I've got 3 26 gauge wires that I am putting through, and there is wiggle room. So I would have to use 24 gauge if I don't want to do a bunch coil. And in this case, I want to keep it fairly clean. I'm going to demonstrate for you what happens with wires that are too thin. Here is 26 gauge, and I am going to do the way I normally wire wrap, like this. I do 3 coils. It works. However, you see, that wire is embedded inside. The coil goes in, and the only thing really stopping it is where the loop is. And if I pull on it, you see, that's if it's tugged. What I'm going to do now is, say if this is the only kind of wire you have, let's do an experiment. Let's see if we could massively coil to stop it. I'm just going to leave longer. And the coil isn't just to pull it down here a bit more. You have to coil widthwise so that this way, because it will then push against it. But I would still say it is not a good thing. Okay. So what you do is you put it there, and you coil around over the top so that when you're pulling it, you see, I'm trying to pull it. The force is spread amongst the large coil that is built up around it. It's a lot stronger, and I was not successful in making it small like this. But what happens is, if you look at it this way, you're building up a large mass of wire. And that might be the look you're looking for, but I think it's not as clean. And also, by the time you use so much wire, it is not less expensive than using the appropriate gauge of wire. In this case, 24 being more expensive than 26 gauge, but it would have a better fit. This flower, actually, the hole is big enough for 22 gauge to go through. But there are other things to consider. For example, most of the people who are going to be welding or using with jump rings, they use 24 gauge. So it actually works better with 24 gauge, which I'm going to do. You see the difference? This has a massive amount of coil, and this has 2, exactly the way I want it to be. And this is 24 gauge, and this is 26. It's just cleaner. And if I didn't continue on doing a massive amount of coil, once it gets pulled, it is very weak. So you don't want these two, and what you want is something that is clean and it's secure, strong, and lasting. The style of wire wrapping that you want to do. You see, even if I was able to get a thicker wire to go through, I like, and I'm looking for that multi-layered wrapping into this cone, this top. I like the aesthetics of it. And if I had used a thicker wire where the look, I end up being able to coil maybe 4 coils, it is not the kind of look I'm looking for. I want to have multiple layers, and it has a unique style this way. So that requires a thinness, and purely for aesthetic reasons. Another thing is, maybe you want, and I could have gone with a thicker wire, but I wanted to have a crisscross. And if this became too thick due to the way the wire is, because each time to do this, I have to wrap around this top, it becomes too thick, disproportionate, and it might unravel. I hope you enjoy that. And if you did, please like and subscribe. Stones and Findings is a wholesaler of premium quality chains and findings, and I'm going to leave more information about our company below.